Hi, beautiful souls. It's so nice to be here again. And tonight I want to help you feel a little bit more open and expanded, like for your mind, as if you open the window and letting a little bit of fresh air come through. And we're going to do some de-stressing so you feel more happy and less overwhelmed in yourself. And I also feel like talking a little bit about some of my clients, just some stories that I come across, and I see a pattern in those stories. So I think it would be helpful for you too if I talked about it and show you where we get things wrong sometimes and how we get into tangled up mess in our lives. And then I'll show you the way out of that, because a lot of the times what my clients come to me for is very relatable to me, to myself, so it pulls me up as well, and I can share the benefit with you. So for instance, last week I had a new client, and this lady, she was going through cancer scare, so it wasn't 100% sure yet, but it was hanging over her head. She was having stresses at work, and she didn't have financial security. And I think her marriage was good, so that part of her life was working, and she also had stresses with her children. So that was a big shopping list of challenges in her life, and so we had a little bit of a chat around it before I start doing healing work, because I work in my room, in this room. I love to do energy work, like I just want to pull out heaps of old stuck energy, remove it, chuck it away, and then the person feels a lot lighter and you get a handle on life again. So before we started, I suggested to this lady, what is on your wish list? What is your deepest wish for yourself? What do you want? What if you could have it miraculously, like say if I was God or an angel and I said, here you are, I want to give you a beautiful gift. What would it be for yourself? Something that fundamentally changes your life. And then she sort of gave me classic answers. So she goes, oh, I don't know. My life is good. I've had a good life. And some other things like that. So obviously she didn't want to be greedy, or there was some embarrassment around it, or like definitely a big blockage. So then I had to coach her a little bit and really get it. So I went back to a list where I'd written everything down, and I said, well, what about your cancer scare? If I was you, I would definitely want to be completely free from cancer. I would want that out of the way. What about your money? Like, she was getting near retirement age, and so her financial situation wasn't good. What about your money? How come now? Would you like some? How would it be for you if you had financial security? How would that change your life? And so on. So after a while, but it took about 10 minutes for her to defrost, and after a while, she started to give herself permission to think about positive things, like even though what we would call unrealistic, it's really good for us to allow ourselves to get completely unrealistic many times during the day, and just tune in to what's missing in your life, what you feel there's a gap here, or there's scarcity, or you're scared of something. What would it be like if you had the opposite going on in your life? What would that be like for you? And really start thinking about that. And once you start to do that, your whole energetic body changes, and the chemistry in your body changes, and it's really, really valuable to practice being unrealistic, being delusional, taking a good hard look at your life, what isn't working, and then allowing yourself to think, well, what if I had a magic wand and I would be able to just bang on my wish list and my wish would be there? What would my life be like then? And I think the reason we stopped doing that is because we don't want to disappoint ourselves. We think, oh, well, if I don't expect anything, I'm not going to be disappointed. But this becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because we don't wish for anything, we don't wish for anything better, Actually, what that does is our energy flatlines. So we go through life in a bit of a flat. We feel safe, we might be comfortable, but actually sometimes, like my client wasn't comfortable, but we still put up with the status quo. So thankfully, after a while, she admitted, she said, yes, I would love it if I was cancer free, if I didn't have that hanging over my head. And I would love $100,000 in my bank account. By the way, $100,000 isn't very much, because there is so much money on our planet Earth. Our planet Earth is such a wealthy country, a wealthy space. There's so much gold that if it was divided up equally, every single human being would get $10 million. So we're all entitled to $10 million. So this is another good thing to remember. What would my life look like if I had $10 million? And then you just feel your body and your whole being starts to open up and expand. And then that changes your energy field, it changes the chemistry in your body, and that starts to change your situation already around you. Like people, you might get sudden changes, positive changes in your life start to appear as from nowhere. So this is one way that we can get ourselves out of stress, like fight and flight and stressy, contracted living. Because most of the time, by the time we're 12, our brain is literally living like this. So like a little child is born full of potential, full of excitement, full of like fresh from God. A little child knows that he or she is a miracle, and also naturally the child turns towards love. So the child loves the mom. So every time the child hears the mom's voice, its focus shifts to the mom. So it's always attracted to love. It's also always attracted to the light. So if a door opens and light comes in, the child will look to the light, or the child will trace a candle. So that's natural for us. That's our natural state. So our natural being, we are wired to respond to light, we are wired to respond to love, and we are also wired to respond to miracles and to big gifts and to being unrealistic. That's really part of our being. And that's the language of our soul. It's also the language of our right brain. So what happens when we go there? Then the left brain comes in, which is the logical brain, the rational brain. It's the analyzer, and it squashes everything. So it goes, don't be silly, and it squashes our dreams. So by the time we're 12, we've been through the school system, most of us have forgotten that we can literally tap into our right brain, and we've even forgotten our dreams a lot of the time. So tonight, right now, I'm going to invite you to think about something completely unrealistic, which is just a label, completely delusional, which is just another label by your left brain. Something really good for you that you want in your life, that you wish, a wish for yourself. So just take a piece of paper and write that down, or make a mental note. And see if that's easy for you. Is it easy, or does your mind go blank? Or do you feel like tension, like resistance, like I don't want to go there? And everything is welcome here, because this is all about becoming aware of how you live your life and where you have your blind spots, and how you can create a better life for yourself, like much, much better. So just see what comes up for you. So a wish, of course, for many people needs to be like, but I'm cheating now. I'm cheating for the people who are stuck, who are like frozen, who are paralyzed, and who have forgotten to dream. So what would it be like if you had $10 million in the bank? That's yours. So you can write that one down and think about it during the week. What would you be doing with the money? How would you benefit from it? And even how would the world around you or your community benefit from it? And how would that make you feel? That would make you feel awesome, right? So how about your body? How's your body feeling? What do you wish for yourself as far as your body is concerned? So in other words, you can say, I want to be completely pain-free. I want to be fit and slim. And you can come up with other things. So even if you've had migraines for 40 years, I want you to say, I want to be completely pain-free, never have another migraine. And stuff like that. I want my eyesight to be really good, and so on. So just write down what your desire is, what your wish is for your body. And then, so we're talking about health and wealth. And so a lot of people have like sabotages in relation to their health and wealth, because they think you can only be, if you're healthy, you can't be wealthy, or if you're wealthy, you can't be healthy. So that's another kind of sabotage. So if you have something going on like that, just go ahead anyway right now and start writing down all your wishes, okay? And so, like, what about in relation to happiness? How's it going in your significant relationships? That's another big stress area for a lot of people. What's happening between you and your bestie, or between you and your children? Where do you need a magic wand? And what do you want to change in your relationship? So you can write that down too, and verbalize it as you, so you can write that question down, and you can note down anything that comes to mind, because as soon as you start writing things down, literally, the universe starts to respond. And apparently only 3% of the population goes to the effort of writing things down, and they are the most successful people in the world. So this is also about creating a success mindset rather than a failure mindset, I guess. This is what helps you to thrive. And just focusing on those exercises, you start to feel like your stress levels drop in your body and your muscles start to relax. And you can even write underneath all of that, what would it take? What would it take? And you leave that answer up to the universe, because the universe already knows how to fulfill all your wishes, and the universe knows exactly how to deliver it to you. So that's a beautiful exercise that I really would like you to work with this week, and see how it's going to change your life, every aspect of your life. And then so this is all to do, like what I said before, with a success mindset. It's really, really important, because you're entitled to success. But we all get a little bit lost, we get distracted, we get stuck, we hit a wall, and then, you know, a year later we're still stuck against that wall. So this is all about elevating your energies. So another thing that goes wrong, so this is another client, and she was telling me a story, and it was kind of pretty tragic in a way, a tragic story, and she bought into it, and I was also listening to her body, like her subconscious mind, and I knew that the story wasn't true, right? So she was creating a lot of heartache and heartbreak in her body, literally in the physical body. She had no energy to get out of bed, and so I had to teach her that she can't believe her thoughts, and also not even to believe in that story. But let's just make it really easy for tonight. I'm just going to say that every negative thought you have, it didn't start with you, and it's not your thoughts. All our thoughts that we have, they just simply come through us. We don't think them up. They come through us. And we have a choice to buy into them or not. And And it really depends on the kind of the mood that we're in, or the frequency that we're in, that creates the thoughts that we attract. So the problem that people have, and they haven't been trained in this, people believe every thought they think, every single thought, and this causes disease and trauma in the body. It causes tension in the relationship, and so on. So every negative thought that you have, I'll bet my bottom dollar that it's not true, or it has very minimal truth in it. And so you can immediately feel an expanded state in your body if you start inquiring into your thoughts. So we'll do that first, and then I'm going to give you a real easy cheat way to quickly refresh your thoughts altogether. Okay, so apparently we have about 60,000 negative thoughts a day, and pretty much every day we have similar thoughts, and our parents had the same thoughts, and then our grandparents did too. So it's really, really time that we change the script, and it's really time that we also question our thoughts. So by questioning, our thoughts release a lot, or we release the power that those thoughts have over us, right? Because the thoughts often come from the ego. It's safe to say they come from the ego mind, and the ego doesn't like unconditional love. This is a really, really strange thing, isn't it? So we have all these different forces that work in us, because the bottom line is we're all unconditional love. That's really what we're made of. That's what keeps us together, and we're living in a universe that's kept in order with unconditional love, and yet here we are with all these crazy thoughts pumping through our body. So the first thing to remember is you are not your thoughts, and also you didn't create your thoughts, and your thoughts are simply traveling through you, and you're latching onto them as they come past. So I'm going to invite you to, from now on, latch on to positive thoughts as they come past, and let go of the negative thoughts. So Byron Katie, you can Google her. She's amazing. She had a total breakthrough 30 years ago. And you should read the story. It's really, really inspiring, and she's got lots of YouTubes. Her name is Byron Katie, and so she has 4 questions, and she says these 4 questions immediately get you out of pain. So I want you to think of a negative thought first now. So just bring one of your favorite negative thoughts into your mind. So a favorite one can be, there's never enough money in the bank, I'm always tired, or worse, when we actually start to include or blame people. So a favorite thought could be, I'm just making this up, Peter never does enough around the house. That's totally not true though, but just imagine I was always thinking that. Okay, so just write one down for you, something that stresses you, just a recurrent stress. And then Katie, she has 4 questions. You can Google these, but I'll put them in the comment box as well. So she says, the first question you ask is this true? And so let's say you say, I will never get better. Some people will say that to me. There's no way, I've got cancer, I'll never get better. And so the first question would be, is this true? And if you're really truthful, you have to say no, because you don't know if that's true. So the second question is, can you absolutely know that it is true? And then the third question is, how do you react? What's the feeling in your body when you believe that thought? And then the fourth question is, who would you be without that thought? And then she goes into some other things. But I often find, just for me, to raise my mood, if I ever get a little bit down, and I catch a negative thought, I will immediately ask myself, is this true? And then I'll say, what if it isn't true? What if this thought isn't true? And then I really start to think about that. And then my day has changed already. I'm now set up for a better day. So these are all really, really good exercises and things to be mindful of. So the first thing is allow yourself to create a wish list, a big wish list. Make it bigger and better every day, because you really deserve it, and the universe really wants to give all this to you. And then secondly, when you have negative thoughts coming in your mind, and it can be really intense, by the way, they are not your thoughts. It's not you. You're not your thoughts. You're not even your feelings either. It's like you're the blue sky, and thoughts are like the clouds that pass through you. Just let them pass through you. You go, oh, here's that funny little cloud again. Goodbye, or something like that. So I just want to finish now with a little exercise that I'll take you through. So close your eyes if you like. And this is like a bit of an energy exercise. So breathe into your nose and out. And just become really conscious of your body, inside of your body. Take your attention inside, like roll those eyeballs back and notice what's going on for you. And now see if you can remember one of your negative thoughts that keeps popping up, that's really irritating you and draining your energy. Or you can just find a whole bunch of them, put them in a big like bubble on the screen of your mind. Now what I want you to do is quickly write all those thoughts on a whiteboard, so that you can read them now on a whiteboard in the back of your mind. And now get a big squeegee and pull that squeegee down. So wash all the words off, wash the story down. So now pull that squeegee down, and the whiteboard is white again. So just do that again. Okay, so if you have relationship troubles, and you're worried about, or a friend, you're worried about other people think, so you could say, Peter hates me. I'm worried Peter hates me. So that's written on the whiteboard. Now get that squeegee out, and I just pull that squeegee down, and it's all gone. It's white again. And I do it again, and just do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And suddenly you'll find that whole thought structure is now gone. And if it pops up, you just do the same thing again. This is a really good one to do at night as well. If you wake up during the night and you find yourself worrying, you can worry about the state of the world. So you just project your worst fears and your worst worries onto the screen of your mind. So see the screen as a whiteboard, and so it's all like full of all this negativity. Just let your body do that, and then you get your imaginary squeegee out. Like a squeegee is a thing that, you know, that you wash the floor with, really, or that you wash your windows with. Okay, the window wiper, and just wipe it down. Just wipe it down. And now it's all white again. And it works so well, because the unconscious mind is mainly driven by pictures. It operates on images and on pictures. And so this is why that works so well. So that's how you can actually reclaim some peace and quiet back into your life, and some stillness. So you can start living your life from a backdrop of stillness and tranquility and harmony, which is actually your true nature, that's buried under all the stresses and so on. So I hope you found this helpful, and you might need to watch it again sometime, just so that you really understand the workings of your mind and how you can change your life by changing your thinking, and by changing the way you look at yourself and so on. These are just some little hacks that I find very helpful myself. And thank you for tuning in, everyone, and let me know how you get on, and let me know how your life changes when you do these things, and also start becoming very, very, very delusional with your wish list. Make it enormous, make it crazy, make it outrageous, and then wait and see what happens. I'm so excited for you. And this is one I love doing that even more than the squeegee. I always love, coming up with really, really crazy ideas and dreams. And they usually work out for me as well. Thanks everyone. Much love from me. And I'll see you next week. Have a really good week. Bye bye.